Hi everybody, it's Tina Plackinger. Welcome to my channel where I read daily devotions out of my daily devotional called Treading on Serpents, which is geared toward those who are bullied, gang-stalked, and or harassed. I've been doing a book of Revelation reading, and I've gotten some comments that and I know I have a unique channel, and God's blessed me with being able to write and publish the book, and so I am going to continue to read it because there are people out there that are gang stalked, and they're in the tailspin of the beginning of the gang stalking, where everything in their life is falling apart in the domino effect, and there are some other people who have been gang stalked for many years, and people want to hear about gang stalking, and it's really because of this book that I actually have friends today, and I actually talk today and intermingle today, whereas for almost 2 decades I didn't. It's about 15 years that I didn't. So I can't just walk away from this and take a break. I know breaks are for the weary, and I was getting weary there. I'm feeling pretty good these days, and so I'm still going to continue with the Revelation book reading, but I have to continue to help those who need to hear about gang stalking and so forth. I decided to choose a bonus reading out of my book. It actually is the bonus reading of at the end of April. I decided to read it because it's was brought up to my attention a couple times by some people lately. It's awesome. And nobody can really read a personal story, even though the book is not all personal stories. It's about 80% daily devotions for targeted individuals. Okay, but this is a personal story, and I'm sure that you'll be able to relate to it. Okay. The gang stalking continues. It's people ask me, why do I smile? Because they've stolen everything. I don't want them to take my smile anymore. Actually, if you just sit and smile, like, when you're just sitting and smile, and then open your mouth a little bit, like you would if you were at a comedy club, or you're intermingling with friends, or you're telling a joke at a party, you would be like that, those muscles, when I do that, they tremble because I don't do that anymore. And it's showing in my face, and it's like they've taken that, and I'm not letting them have it anymore. That's why I smile, because it's good for my face. And it's good for my heart. And they're not taking it anymore. I'm not giving them my smile anymore. So that's why I smile. And yeah, sometimes I get picked on a lot. I do. But that's okay. Gang stalking has made me so strong. It's amazing how strong we are. I mean, for being isolated and not talking to anybody and not even having anybody around that even likes us, okay? They tell their kids lies about us so that their kids don't even want to wave to their neighbor or anything. It's just horrible, the stuff that we go through. And here these people are just falling apart who can't intermingle with others and can't go to work, or they can't, socialize. They're stuck in their houses. We are very strong because of gang stalking. We really are. Please don't ever forget that. And if you're in the whirlwind of the beginning of being gang stalked, you know, you've come to the right place, because in my book, I write not everything that has happened to me, and I don't have daily devotions based off of everything that has happened to me, okay? Otherwise, it would be volumes of books. But I understand what you're going through. I just do. They hit you from all angles. They get involved in everything. For me, their hooks are in me very deeply. I mean, they will send perps to pretend they're TIs on my channel. They're nice at first, and then they start with the jabs. And I can't have negative stuff like that on my channel. It's not going to help anybody, so I have to monitor it carefully. They attacked me at the bank, my bank account, everything. So I don't know where I was going with that. So let me just read, because that's what I'm supposed to do. Some days I live in quiet desperation. Other days I just live quietly. When I was in Lourdes, France, I saw a young boy begging for money while holding a sign that read, "Hungry." After spotting him several times, I questioned our tour guide. "Oh, never mind him," he said. "He's owned by the Mafia." My heart sank at the way he nonchalantly said it, like it was a matter of fact that the boy was a lost cause. Heaviness engulfed me, and I was overwhelmed with an unshakable sadness. Locals around here occasionally look at me strangely, like that. No one talks to me. Some just curiously stare, while others appear fearful and try to avoid me altogether. The businesses around here don't want me in their businesses. It's almost as though the business owners, the pastors, the priest, will be reprimanded if I'm there. It's almost like they are the ones that suffer. It's really a very strange thing. A few people seem entertained as they display the global hive mind look. Empty, glossy eyes with a rapturous smirk. The most disturbing are the folks who well up with tears and appear to be consumed with a heaviness by my presence. Business owners. What I think they feel is what I felt in France with the little boy who was a lost cause. I deny the idea that I am owned by the underworld, although it is obvious by my isolated lifestyle that someone stole my life, physically, mentally, sexually, and spiritually. Like the transmuting of a human being, I have been unable to do things, banned and kept from having a normal life. It is the clear levels of hatred that I do not understand. I know that in ritual satanic abuse, RSA, they break down personalities to rebuild them. But in gang stalking, they just break you down. However, in the beginning of my gang stalking, while I was held hostage at the junkyards in LA, strange men went out of their way to approach me for sexual services, like I was a prostitute. I assumed this was the brainwashing stage. It was amazing since no one ever approached me like that during my world travels as a famous athlete. But while living on the streets in my Jeep, I seemed to be attractive enough to be paid. It was sheer folly. The number of men who took orders in executing this element of gang stalking called street theater. In the footnote here it says street theater, harassment skits or staged events directed at or near a target, performed by gang stalkers in public places. Today's prayer and thought is, they cannot have me since I know who I belong to, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Amen. And don't you forget that either, that they cannot have you. You belong to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. We stay in the fight. We focus on Jesus. That's it. You know, some people might not like the fact that I'm always bringing up scriptures and that sort of thing, but there's nothing else. There's nothing else that will save you. I had been asked a question on my channel, did I go to the feds and what happened and blah, blah. Yes, I went to the feds. They didn't want to see any evidence. They were scared. They didn't want to be involved. And I knew years ago, like 18 years ago, 16 years ago, when the feds didn't do anything, when the cops didn't want to do anything, well, at that point, I didn't know they were involved. I didn't know. I was raised that, police officers were safe and you go to them for help. So, a lot of my belief system was shattered at that time. But at that time, I had realized that there was no one in the world that was going to help me, and that I had needed to go and get a Bible. And I did that. And I really suggest that to you, to get a Bible and to start with the Psalms. Psalm 37 is wonderful. Okay? So we stay in the fight. We focus on Jesus. We live one day at a time, and together we can do this thing. God bless you. Thank you for joining me. And I will be back soon with another reading from Treading on Serpents. And happy Mother's Day to the mothers.